What's up, people? It's your boy Riley Escobar holding it down for y'all once again. And y'all listening to the Just Send It podcast. Y'all know the podcast created to change perspectives, explore new concepts and themes, while just providing that timeless conversational appeal. So I'm back. I took last week off, but I'm back, baby. This is episode 7. So without further ado, let's actually get into the show, man. Cue intro, please. Good, fam. You alright, man? You chilling, man? Yeah, yo, I'm good, yo. I'm good, yo. You know, Gucci, out here maintaining, trying to do my thing, yo. Good to know, man. What's good, fam? You good? Yeah, I'm good, yo. Try and flood the streets or whatever. You know how we do, man. We just try, we try to elevate. Briefcase state of mind. So I'm sorry for last week, fam. I'm sorry, my bad. But for some reason, like the internet at the house is acting real wonky, and it does that like consistently. I've been doing that since we got here. The internet in the city just sucks, and you can't get FiOS because for some reason they don't want to like pull up the lines or like dig up the streets. For some reason, they don't want to dig up the streets in the city, so like you can't really get any faster internet than what you're currently getting. So the internet was out all last week. So it was going to make like really recording the show and putting out a show extremely difficult. So that's why I didn't put out a show last week. However, I'm back this week. I apologize. I'm sorry, but we here now. So let's actually get into the shit, man. So what happened this past week? First thing first, I gotta say is shout out to the IRS because they broke a couple of us off proper this past week. So for y'all who was on unemployment, all 2020 and 2021, man, make sure y'all check your bank accounts. Y'all may see a couple of extra M's in there. And I was reaching out to my people that I know that was on unemployment last year with me and filed their taxes. Like, yo, check your bank account, as soon as you possibly can. You may see a couple of extra M's on there that you wasn't thinking. And they happen to drop right at the right time. We going into November, damn near December. So like this is the time of year that people want to really like start buying gifts, buy those flat screens, and it's gonna be tight. I think in the last episode, I said like the fall time is always the one of the toughest times a year when it comes to like finances. Everybody want a big Christmas and a big holiday, but sometimes people live above their means in terms of it, and they wind up like putting themselves in the hole. So the IRS really came through, broke a couple of people off for that unemployment. I think what they did was like they kind of like adjusted it. So if you file unemployment like as income last year, they kind of adjusted it so like you got a refund back. So shout out to them. So that's appreciated. Mine's, of course, you already know mine's gone. I had to use my money that I received to kind of like pay off my credit cards because the end of the year is right around the corner. So they will hit you with those annual fees. So I try to get that joint out of there as soon as I possibly can. And like I think I told you a couple episodes back, yo, I've really been loving this Amex card. I don't even know why I didn't even do this shit sooner. And I'm not promoting like Amex. I'm not sponsored by them. I'm not, but like, yo, like this American Express card is dope. Like when I got that joint in my hand and I'm swiping and I'm tapping it, like, yo, I feel like a boss. And like, I don't know, just the small use of the card just made me like kind of like created a new goal for me. Like, you know what? I think I want to try to reach like this 50,000 in available credit. So like I'm gonna try to do whatever it takes possibly to see can I get there. Maybe not actively, but passively. I'm gonna see can I passively make that a goal and achieve that. 50,000 in available credit. My mentor, his my mentor's mentor, he has about I think like 250,000 in available credit. And I was like, dang, like how you get something like that? But on like all his credit cards, like in total, everything add up to 250,000. So I was like, damn, that's fucking crazy. So I was like, man, I didn't even know you can like you can get that, or like what does it take to get that? So I was like, man, maybe this is something that I should like put on my like bucket list like of things to do. But like we'll see. I really want to get to that 50K available credit just on the Amex if I can do that. Um, and maybe just try to get my credit score up into the 800s. I know a lot of y'all like, man, this shit is boring. But like, yo, that shit is just kind of dope to me. Like, I don't know what to say. Like, all I do is just use my card to pay for blueberry muffins that I get from work and like food here and there. Bow bow. And I don't know, like my credit score is in a really good position for some reason. I don't know why it's as high as it is, but I'm gonna see can I get it into the 800. So why not? Shit, that's not gonna hurt, and I can get better deals and ratings on some other shit. That may actually help me actually get that 50K available credit. But we can see what we're trying to do. And what else I've been up to this past week? All week for about the past 2-3 months. I just been like watching anime. So I finished watching the show called Fruit Basket. It's currently on Hulu. It's kind of like a slice of life type of deal. But I've been watching the dub, and I know like the otakus out there are gonna be like, dang, like yo, you watching the dubs of these shows? Like, what are you doing? Like, you gotta watch the subs. But I've been like shopping like on my computer around for like cars and watching reviews and reading reviews on like cars. So like I wanted to also like watch something at the same time that I'm not really paying attention to, but I am that I can just listen to. So I've been watching like Fruit Basket while like online on the laptop shopping for cars to see like, okay, what kind of car I can afford and I can get into. And I'm not gonna hold y'all, man. I really want a WRX. Like facts, I really want a WRX. They like I've seen a couple of them in my areas. It's like 27,000. But I'm looking like, dang, okay. Like if I, make some moves, I probably can get that, right? But the only thing is it comes in a stick. And I was like, man, I don't know how to drive stick. Like, dang. So that's the cheapest one I can get. But it's a WRX, but that's the cheapest one I can get is a stick. And I was like, dang, like maybe the automatic one may be like something I can really grab and more feasible. But they want like five more grand on top of that, 5 or 6 more grand on top of that. And I can't even find one like in my area over here on the East Coast. Like I seen a lot more like WRX with the automatic or the CVT transmission, like available in the West Coast for some reason. It seems like the West Coast got the better options in terms of JDM cars than over here. For some reason, over on the East Coast, everybody just like they like BMWs, they like Mercedes, they kind of like Lexuses, they like Lexus, yeah. But like them JDM cars, like what shit like the WRXs, like some of them, not so much. Like I don't really see too much. Some of even like some of the Hyundais, like the sporty Hyundais, not so much on the East Coast. Like you don't see it, but on the West Coast, it's a plethora of everything. So that's kind of like wow. In the future, I kind of want to not live in the West Coast, but I want to go to the West Coast and probably stay for a while because you can see way more crazy cars and everything over there than over here. But yeah, I really been wanting a WRX lately, and I'm just sitting at the house like, dang, like, how can I afford a WRX? So how can I afford the new BRZ that's about to drop? So like, I've been, grinding at work, really like pounding the pavement, checking my investments. In the stock market, things been looking green lately coming into this fall season. So I'm like, man, like if I play my cards right, I might can like actually like finally do what I said I was going to do a couple years ago and actually just buy a car for my Christmas present. Like I've been joking with my family for years. Like the only thing that I really want to see under the Christmas tree is like a small box with some car keys in it. Like that's all I really want to see. So maybe I may be able to make that a reality this year. You feel me? But that's something I've been like doing for the past couple of months. And then yeah, speaking of the holidays, um I finally got around to actually planning my holiday trip this year. So I'm thinking about actually spending Christmas in Washington D.C. Um, it's only a short like 45 minutes hour away from Baltimore where I currently live. But like boy, when I tell you I need some time like alone and a time away from home, I need some time alone and a time away from home. Love the fam dearly. I really do. I really do. But like, yo, these past 2 years, because of COVID and everything, I haven't really had the opportunity to really like travel. I know a lot of people say that. I know it's really cliche, but I haven't really had the opportunity to really kind of like get away from my family. Like being unemployed and then being quarantined sucked because it's like I'm always around somebody in my family, somebody. My sister, she maintained her job throughout the quarantine. My foster mother, she maintained her job. My grandmother, she was unemployed, but she's also kind of retired as well. Tired, semi-retired. So like she's kind of tired, semi-retired. So it's kind of like here or there. Like it's kind of like in the areas of gray. But like I was the only person that was like 100% like completely unemployed across the board. And like someone either always at the house with me or like around me. You feel me? And it's like, dang, like this shit kind of sucks, right? So like I pretty much spent the whole like quarantine with somebody like attached to me or near me. So like going on this little Christmas trip, just solo dolo, where it's just me and I can finally just chill in a hotel and relax and take my camera and take pictures and go sit in cafes and drink coffee in DC. Like that's cool. You feel me? It's cool. It's gonna be cold as hell in DC in December. But like this is my like I told you, this is my time of the year anyway. So like that's gonna be really dope. Probably see a couple Christmas trees, take some pictures, make a video or something like that. Something cool. But ultimately just get the R&R and get the rest. Hopefully, I gotta double check it, but hopefully the hotel room that I booked actually have a bathtub because I really, 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 really want to take a bath. And I know that shit sound like hella weird, like you can't take a bath at your house, but like it is something about when I'm home, someone always need to like either use the bathroom or trying to hurry up and get in the bathroom. So I really never really get a chance to really like sit and soak like in the tub or sit and like enjoy like a long hot shower. It's always like the moment I hop in, somebody like knocking at the door, like I gotta use the bathroom, or I gotta hurry up and leave. Are you in the bathroom? So like I don't know, something about just that, taking a long hot soak just sound like super like refreshing to me. Kind of like the soaks they be taking in the animes when they be at the hot springs and shit. They did it in Naruto. Like one of those joints that you can just sit and just chill, like with hella bubbles. That'll be fire. But like, yeah, that's my Christmas trip that I'm thinking about planning at the end of this year. Um, I think next year, like January, maybe February, I've been wanting to do like a ski trip for a while. But I think I'm actually gonna really just like say fuck it and just really get around and doing it. Like it's like 2 or 3 like ski resorts, not too close, not too far. Well, I say close, not too far away from like Maryland. So I may just pick one of those and just go out there and just go skiing. Well, not skiing, more like snowboarding. But yeah, I get the dress. But just go snowboarding, hot chocolate, um, snowboard, probably do like a 360, do like a melon. Who knows? You feel me? And when I tell my friends about this, like the stuff that I'm interested in doing or got planned, they were like, yo, this shit sound like shit that like you hear in the fucking movies. And I'm like, yeah, like I kind of got a thing for the movies. I think um I think Home Alone one time did like a Christmas trip. No, Lil Woody got stuck in New York City and yo had the credit card, so he was chilling. Like, so that's kind of like the idea behind like next year's Christmas trip, which is gonna be in NYC. Um, so I was like, you know what, that'd be dope. Or like the in the black romantic comedies and shit, where like all the couples normally like go out of state to a ski resort and some drama and shit always kick off and shit like that, and someone always get smacked. The ladies always like fall like head first into the snow or something crazy. Like yeah, like I always want to kind of do like a ski trip, and I've been like kind of like pitching the idea to my friends for the past like no, I would say like 6 years, but it's been like more like 8 or 9 years. I've been like, yo, let's go on a ski trip. Let's go on a ski trip. But I'm actually gonna just say fuck it and finally get around into doing it. Like it gotta be fun. Like it gotta be fun. There's no way that it's gonna be horrible. And even if I get snowed in, fuck it then. Like even if I get snowed in, it's still gonna be a dope experience. So that's something else I got planned on the docket. 2022, I'm trying to make 2022 a lit year. Like lit. This year was cool. I ain't gonna lie. It was cool. But next year, travel, hit the ground running. We're gonna have some big fun. And I already send the memos out to the squad, to the fam. I'm like, yo, this is where I want to go. This is where I'm planning on going. It's not up subject to change or debate. Like, is you with it, you with it. If you're not with it, all right then. Like I see y'all when y'all come back or y'all do something else. But ship and chill lately. Um, what's the topic of this podcast? So I was sitting in a chair like for a minute thinking like longer her like what the fuck I want to call this episode or this topic, what I want it to be. And like I was going to talk about probably try to talk about the conversations I've been having with my friends lately, right? With my lady friends. And I was like, man, I don't want to put nobody business in the street. But like the one overarching thing that I just thought about was that just fit was the fact that like, man, yo, like I really love women, yo. Like women are funny as hell, boy. Maybe they might not be actual funny, like ha funny, but like when it comes to like the conversations that you have with them and the stuff that they talk about, the shit is just hilarious to me. Like I enjoy every bit of it. So like this morning, right? This morning while I was sleepwalking to the metro, because I gotta be to work at like 6:30 in the morning. I leave out an hour before. Like I was really thinking about all the conversations I had over the weekend. And like for some reason, like sometimes it's the weekend, sometimes it's like Thursday. My friends just get in their talking and conversation bag for real. So hopefully I can get them on the pod. Um, but they just get in this pocket where they talking wild crazy, like they coming up with the most interesting like questions, um, feedback. They clapping back at each other, like they really like making it interesting. It's not just a surface conversation that y'all used to. It's actually like some really deep, heavy hitting stuff that make you kind of think. And I was like, man, like they really was spitting. And like for some reason, I find it so entertaining, right? Because like ladies tend to think like completely different from men. And I spend a lot of time around ladies because I have sisters, my foster mother, my grandmother. Like it's just I spend a lot of time around women. I always spend a lot of time around women. My aunts, my mothers, my grandmothers, sisters, cousins, I always spent a lot of time around women. So like I always like just listen to the stories that they say, listen to, really dissect the way that they think, right? So like now when I be having when my lady friends be talking, right? I be like, dang, like, yeah, this shit kind of remind me of like shit that my aunt say, or like shit that my grandma say or my sister say, right? And like I always like try to give them a guy perspective on it, right? Like a guy perspective on romance, a guy perspective on like why a guy didn't ask someone on a date or like why he fumbled the bag and shit like that. And like they be like, dang, sometimes they be like, dang, Twan, like this is just something that we just won't agree on. And I'm looking like it's not like a battle. It's not like a battle or debate. Like, you know, these are my points and my shit is right and like your shit is wrong. Like I just try to offer them the perspective of guys. Like we're always kind of like giving like a female's perspective towards things. And you don't have to go far to receive it, just by having grandmothers and sisters and cousins and stuff like that around you, they're gonna tell you how they think and feel for sure. But like you don't always get that perspective of like, yo, bro, like what do you think about the shit? Because sometimes, guys just like either don't be truthful, and that's a fact. And y'all know that y'all don't be truthful. Sometimes y'all just be like, man, I don't even want to jump this shit off. So, well, I don't even want to argue or nothing like that. So guys be like, yo, that's cool. Versus then just being honest, like, yo, this is why this shit was the way it was. And like you might not like it, but this is the way it was. But it's just so fucking entertaining to me. And like, I don't know what I be doing sometimes. I guess it's when I be out in the city on my studies and I just be thinking about the conversations. I be just be writing down like questions and stuff like that, like based off the conversations that like I had with them, that I was like, you know what? I think I want to ask them this question later on to see what they think, right? Just to pick that brain. Um, let's see. I got a couple of questions on here. I don't know how long ago I wrote this shit. I always be working on something. What I said, oh, I said this is one question I think I was gonna ask one of my friends. It was should you give up on the friendship or the talking phase with someone if it isn't, sparks on the first day? And like that's something that I was gonna ask the ladies, but that was something I was also gonna ask the fellas. Like if it's not sparks, like the first day you meet them or you hang out, like do you just kind of like give up on it and like throw it in the trash bin? Or like do you keep it going, right? And that's a very interesting thing because like not everybody is gonna just click on the first day that you meet them or the first time you hang out with them. Like sometimes it take people some time to warm up. A couple friends of mine is kind of like that. Like it was dry in the beginning, but like after things kind of like heated up and warmed up, it's like, oh shit, you actually a really dope person and you be doing dope things, right? Like damn, like I if I would have just like hit the X button on you after like the first couple of interactions, like man, like I would have missed out on such a great person you are. You feel me? Or how much fun we've been having or we can have. So that was a question that I was gonna ask a couple of my friends. Like, do you just give up on it if you don't see sparks start to fly on the first day, or like what you do? And like I really want to know what y'all think. So like please like I guess go to the Instagram RZ Media Productions, um, and y'all see the content, the Just Send It content on there, and really like post it in there. Like, what do y'all think as far as that's concerned? Another interesting thing that like always hear when I'm talking to my lady friends is about consistency, right? And I be like, dang, they be like, your bro wasn't just being consistent, and I be looking like, dang, like consistency, like, and this is really consistency is really important to me because it's just the field that I work in, like culinary. Chefs will lean on you about like always being consistent. That's what we have like the utensils for, ladles, the scale. So everything can kind of maintain this consistency, right? We got things that you use to measure it, right? But like I always find it interesting, like when I had these talks with my friends, and they were like, "Yo, guys don't be consistent," or they be like, girls don't be consistent. And I'd be like, yo, like, so what does consistency mean to you in terms of dating? And people be like, because everybody idea of consistently is kind of different. Like consistency in dating can be, okay, you talking and texting that person every day, right? That can be some person. Like, yo, that's what I mean, what it means to be consistent. To other people, that can mean like, yo, this person talk and text me every fucking day. Like, I wish they would just do it every 2 days or once or twice a week. Like, this person is too fucking consistent. But it's kind of weird, right? Like, it's a weird space to be. So it's like, how do you do that, right? And like I really never hear stories of people like going on a first date or they vibing and they looking like, yo, what does consistency mean to you? Like, how often should I hit you up? Or how often like you don't never hear nobody say that. It's something that you gotta like gauge out, and you can gauge it wrong, right? Like if you gauge it wrong, it can be like, oh, this person not consistent enough. Or you can gauge it wrong, like, oh, this person is like texting me 8 times a day, back to back, double texting. Like this person is too consistent. They pressed. So like that's always an interesting question that I was going to ask them. Like, yo, what y'all think about consistently? What does that mean to you? Um, well, and I think one of them did respond. I think Shorty said, she said the moment, like the interest, like a verbal interest is established on that day, you need to be consistent. And I was like, dang. So I guess it's like the moment like I get through the introductions is just, hi. And that person don't really say I like you. You just feel the vibe. From then on, you gotta be consistent. Like it should be established. But that's very interesting. Like, what do y'all think? I think like, man, like I think like I'm a very busy person. Like right now, like I'm doing the show. So like I'm recording the show today, and then like tomorrow I may edit it. And then I may have to, tweak some social media stuff on the next day. So I could literally be gone for 3 days straight, right? And then pop back up like on the weekend when my schedule is kind of like freed up and my mind is kind of like freed up from the clutter of like putting together the show and its elements, right? But like some people be like, man, like we were already, you kind of ghosted me for like 3 or 4 days. And like, oh, why do you always pop up for 3, 4 days and then disappear for 3, 4 days, right? Like that's inconsistent. And like it's funny because a lot of times people don't go and look for, they don't ask you what the reason as to why you do what you do. They just assume like, oh, this person is just ghosted me. Like, no, it's not that I ghost you. I fucking had COVID. Or I thought I had COVID. Or like, it's not that I ghost you. It's because my fucking phone broke. Or some niggas robbed me. Or like, I just been tired. You feel me? Like, so that's very interesting. Um, and I think I got a couple more. I don't know where I came up with these questions, but these joints actually some bangers too. Like I like when I ask them the questions and they kind of like, dang, like I don't know what to say, or they kind of get jammed up and get stuck. Cause he was going like, damn, this shit is a good ass question. Like, yeah, I know, because like I took like hours and hours, like kind of crafting it and thinking about it. So, um, oh, that's more about consistently. Oh, I said this, and it's very funny. I said, should the person you date always match your energy, or is it okay if it's staggered? Right. And I know a lot of times people say, well, he got to bring the same energy that I bring him, or vice versa, right? And like that sounds good on paper. Like it sounds good paper. Like if you bring the same amount of energy, it should be reciprocated. That sounds good. But we all know that like we're kind of humans. So sometimes our minds, our bodies just don't have that energy for that day, right? So you may bring like 60, and then the other person may bring like 40 or 30. And it's like, should you penalize that person because like they was only capable of bringing 40 today? Or like, what's up? So I always found that kind of interesting. Like, yo, should energy be like equal every time, or should it be staggered? And like the funny thing, I'm the type of person that I'm always on like 100 at times, maybe like 95, maybe a cool 95. I'm always on like a cool 95 at every time. Like I wake up like on some shit. I wake up like pumped. And like my friends, when my homie live with, he like, yo, Twan, like it's like 9 o'clock in the morning, it's 8:30 in the morning. Like, why are you waking up so like pumped, so happy, so energized, right? Like a lot of times people are slow starts. And it's like, this is kind of like how I always been. Like I always been a person filled with energy. And like when it's time to start winding down, like why when you wind down, like you still kind of like got the same energy that you had. Like you still kind of playful, you still kind of like in that bag. And it's like, yo, this is kind of like how I am, right? But like sometimes people, right? Sometimes people don't be on that, right? Sometimes like in the middle of the day they get that boost of energy, and towards the end of the day they don't. Or sometimes they can go whole seasons. You see this with the seasonal depression that people fall into. They can go whole season with the only thing they're able to level they can reach is like 40% of their energy. But during the summertime, like they on like 80. So like that can actually like cause you to like, okay, you know what? I don't think this person is a good fit for me because they don't bring the same energy. And like I think this also goes into something that I think I had a conversation with somebody about is like, okay, um, how like relationships kind of like happen a little bit too fast. Like you're DMing a person, and the next thing you know, you're chilling at the house. You don't really get to see them at like every phase of life, like every phase during the course of the year, right? You don't get to see how they act. And I think the podcast I listened to called the Cruise Season Podcast with Trill AC, Smooth, Kenny, and is they was actually talking about this. I think in the last episode they was talking about you know, the fellas said they want to see a girl in every aspect of the year, so they can know like the highs and the lows, like the peaks and the valleys, right? So they can know. And I was like, damn, that's kind of dope because that's kind of like what I shoot for a lot of times, like in terms of dating. It's like, oh, I want to know how you are, you know, during the course of the year. So you can know, like, not if it's just tolerable, but know like you can handle it, you capable of dealing with it. But sometimes people get in relationships so fast you don't even see it. You may catch people at their highest high, and when they hit that low, you look like you're a completely different person than the person I first vibe with, and vice versa. So that's very interesting. I'll probably answer like maybe like I'll probably ask two more, three more of these questions, and then I don't know. Wrap up the show. Maybe I'll bring somebody on and see. Can we jam them up with some of these questions? Because these joints are actually some bangers for real. Like, damn. What's another good one? Mm, mm, mm. Mm, mm. Oh, this one is actually really good. Assurances. So a friend of mine, she said that like, okay, she said I'm willing to build with a guy. Okay, let's scratch that. Let's bring it back a little bit. So y'all see the podcast, y'all see the episode clips about like a lot of times ladies say, they want a guy who's already kind of like established, right? Who makes six figures and so on and so forth. Right. And I was having a conversation with my friend and I was like, so, what side of the kind of like the spectrum do you fall on? Would you prefer a guy who's already like solidified and established in his life, or would you prefer to choose to like build with a guy up to that level, right? And she was like, well, you know what? I prefer to like build with a guy. And I said, that's actually really dope. I said, given the time that we kind of live in, a lot of times people want a guy that's already established. They don't want to do the building thing, or they seem like they less likely to do the building thing. But she was like, however, like with the building, being in a guy's corner through the whole process of him, striving for success in whatever field and life that he trying to have or he hoped to have. She was like, of course that will come with some I want some assurances from him. And I was like, like, what are these assurances? Like, what do you expect? And like, I guess y'all guys kind of already know what the assurances kind of is, but she was like, the assurances I'm looking for is like marriage, kids one time, a house, a lifestyle. And I was like, dang, like I feel you. I feel it wholeheartedly because like as a guy, right? And from a guy's perspective, when we do date ladies seriously, especially me, I do kind of take in mind some of these assurances like, oh, one of these days I might have to, you know, one of these days I'm going to have to, provide her with some of these assurances. And like in my younger days, right? I used to be real big on like when you in the dating phase, talk about, man, like, hey, one day we'll get married and all that. I used to throw that out there, especially in the high school days. I used to throw it out there, But as I gotten older, I stay far away from that. I'm looking like, man, like I may be saying it just to be like kind of witty and kind of cool, but I like, yo, that's not really a good thing to say because like your partner or ladies take that really seriously. So if they say, oh, if you say like, okay, and you know what, in like 4.5 years, I'm gonna get down and propose. When it get 4 years, she's like, okay, he proposed it in 6 months, right? And you was like, as a guy, you was like, man, just thought that was something witty. I would say that would you know pull her in my corner. And it's like, no, like that's an insurance, like some of the insurances that she looking to, have in this process of dating you. And I was like, dang. So that was very interesting. I'm not sure. No, I was gonna say I'm not sure that guys look for certain insurances when it comes to ladies, but like I guess we do in a way. Like we do look for like, or at least try to look for somebody that will be a good mother, uh, or have the potential to be a good mother, or even just look like they could be a good mother. I know, I tend to take that in consideration in terms of dating. Like, would she be good with kids? Like, see and all, um, but I don't know what other insurances that guys tend to like, kind of expect. I think guys are like kind of simple in that aspect. Like in terms of like insurances that they want, I think like, are you gonna be a nurturing mother and like, are you a good, decent person, and are you kind of like, I guess, motivated and kind of driven, like, and maybe even resilient because like if you riding with me and I'm 28 and trying to make it big and got to go through the mud to get where I want to be at. Oh, it's gonna be a rough road, and like I gotta be resilient because I'm the driver, but you gotta be resilient as well because if you're the passenger in this shit as well, we both in the same car going to this destination on these fucking Baltimore City streets, with all these potholes. You gonna get fucked up by these potholes just like I am. So like you being resilient is important as just as important as me being resilient. Cause you may say pull the fuck over, I'm getting out of this shit. So it is very interesting. I need to ask some more fellas about that. Like, what are some insurances y'all kind of expect out of ladies? While you building yourself up, what kind of insurance do you expect? So that's dope. And I think I probably go through one more question. But these some dope ass questions that I had. I forgot I didn't even have these in the cut for real. Um, mm, mm, There's some heat on here. There's some. Okay. I guess we could talk about this. No, this is actually really interesting, right? And it's funny. 'Cause a couple of ladies said this. A couple of ladies said that guys talk a good game, but don't back it up with action. And I wholeheartedly I can see where they're coming from because guys do that. They talk wild crazy, and that's the term I use, wild crazy. They talk wild crazy with the wittiness and the jokes and the soft voice and the pillow talk. Well, when it comes to like penning that, even in text form, over the Snapchat or whatever, guys will talk a good game. Like they talk wild crazy, and I guess that comes from just the fake it till you make it aspect. Like, but guys won't back it up, right? With action. And like I always say that some guys are just not cut from that cloth. Like some guys really just don't know what to do. Like they see, they know the words to say because like you seen other people do it, right? You see like your homeboys do it, you see your fathers do it, your uncles do it. But then when it's in time to actually show up to the meetings and to the dates and to the and she's right there in your face, guys tend to like get dumb in the head. Like especially if I'm gonna practice, they get dumb in the head. Like I have a brain fart, right? But some guys just be all talk. Some guys just be kind of better that talking lingo. So like you may not never see no follow through. They practicing their craft. Some guys are probably just not good at like the actual dating, when she's right in front of you part. So they fumble the ball, they fumble the bag. And then when they realize they fumbled it, they try to like, oh, can I have another shot? And like, nah, G, you kind of fucked it up. You fucked up the one shot that you had. But like when girls do say like, yo, a lot of guys talk a good game, but they don't back it up with action. I wholeheartedly see that, on day to day. It's just like it can be tough. And this is another thing I was talking to like some of my lady friends about is like, you know, sometimes being a guy is actually tough in terms of dating, right? Because I'm looking like you see a nice shorty, she looking good and she's thick and she's smelling nice, or you assume she's smelling nice, and you looking like, man, how am I gonna approach her? Right? You're like, I'm gonna say something about her shoes. Like she got the Yorkies on. No. I ain't gonna be that good. All right, I'm gonna say something about the shade she got on. Like, no, I ain't getting either. I'm gonna say something about the hold on. She got tomatoes, ground beef, kidney bean, all rice. Oh, I'm gonna ask if she making chili tonight. Nah. So like guys be like they kind of overanalyze sometimes. Like, dang, you did all that, like thinking about what you was gonna say, how you was gonna say it, and the whole time, right? Because my friends they be saying they be looking like this guy has been looking at me weird for like 5 minutes. Like, what the fuck is wrong with them? That's the other side of the coin. She's looking like, what the fuck is wrong with him? He's mumbling under his breath and looking at me crazy. And the whole time the guy's over there looking like, man, what I'm gonna say to her? What words I'm gonna say? How I'm gonna be smooth? How I'm gonna go in like James Bond? Say I'm James Bond. How I'm gonna do that? And next thing you know, like you already creeped her out and she already gone, or she's like this nice accepted to it, right? And like guys look like, dang, what do guys say all the time? Man, all right, man. I got it next time. If I see her again, I got it next time. And they never see her again. Never see her again. I don't know if it's just among the guys in my group or the guys I've been hanging around, but it's saying like guys always say this again. Yeah, you gonna go and talk to her? Nah, man. When I see her again, I'm gonna say something to her. Never see her again. But it's very interesting. I like some of these questions. I'm gonna see can I get somebody on and see can I ask them. I may even ask Ash, who's in episode 1, would she want to make a reoccurrence to kind of like help us with some of these questions. But some of these questions are actually fire. I didn't know this was gonna be the direction that the show was actually gonna go in, but it's been a pretty dope show. Hopefully y'all enjoyed it. I know I enjoyed it wholeheartedly. I need to get someone else on the show for the next couple of episodes. I actually think my grandmother actually mentioned something about it like a couple days ago. She was like, when you gonna have me on the show? So I most definitely already been plotting that episode with her on here. My grandmother would be giving me some of the best game and the best wisdom. So wholeheartedly, y'all gonna love her. Yeah, y'all gonna love her. Grams, shout out to her. And I got a couple of other family members that I did want to get on the show. Should just talk, family be the main people that support you. So by all means, you might well just have them on here and y'all can get the game. That's the crazy thing about family, right? Is like a lot of times people don't really have a solid family to support them. So, for y'all who don't have a solid family to support y'all that talk to y'all, you give y'all this game, y'all can have my family, man. Y'all can borrow them. Just make sure y'all bring them back for real. Make sure y'all feed them. Make sure y'all bring them back. But I guess that's gonna be it, guys. This is episode 7 of the Just Send It podcast with your boy Riley Escobar. That is me. Oh, and I don't know if y'all can see the hat on the video, but for y'all who can't see it on video and y'all on the audio, It's a MCMXC now. Shout out to my mentor. His name is Moneybags at DiBiase. And he started his own clothing line this year, 2021, right? With the MCMXC, which is 1990 now. That's 1990 now in Roman numerals. But he got some dope apparel for real. And this is one of the hats that I got. I'm supposed to be copping some more clothing for him for sure. This is the snapback, but he got some winter hats too. The Scullies, y'all know I like the Scullies for real. Y'all know I like it, but go over there and give him some love for real. But other than that, make sure y'all follow the RZ Media Production Instagram page, where I'm posting some of the clips and some of the pictures and some materials. So follow that, and also like, comment, and subscribe to the podcast on whatever streaming platform y'all listening to. Shout out to y'all. I appreciate all the love that y'all showed me, even if y'all clicked on it by mistake. I appreciate that. But without further ado, your boy is out. Oops, hold up. Without further ado, your boy is out. What kind of music will I play this go round? I don't know. I may actually play that Drizzy Drake, that wasting time, because that joint was fire. I'm gone.
Your record, if I let you talk first and nobody is speaking second. Fluent in passive aggression, that's why you acting dismissive. Hearing me out for once will require you actually listen. Damn. The boy is back, I never turn my back. I just slapped them, so now all that they see is my back. Say that damn Maybach bands with me in the back. When I wasn't accurate, I still couldn't clean on my act. Whenever I tell the truth, you feel like you being attacked, but that come with being attached. So how about we leave it?